Welcome to Page to Screen, the podcast where Nikki and Christina discuss books that were turned into movies and films that were adapted from books. As always, we do remind you that spoilers lay ahead. Now, we invite you to decide with us the age-old question, which is better, the book or the movie?
Okay, I can't do that anymore. Okay, we're back. Page to Screen is back, and guess what? We're celebrating, again, another anniversary. This is our second anniversary. Right? Second?
Yes.
Last year was our first. Last year we did Cats.
See, I was trying to think, but this is the third year.
Yeah.
But no, that's your second anniversary.
Yeah, we didn't start correctly. I think it would have been easier if we started at the beginning of a year, to make it easier on us, but no. This is it.
We like to add in a challenge every now and then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So technically, this is the Cotton anniversary, what'd you get me? Do you know what I got you?
A sweatshirt?
No, I got you the touch, the feel of cotton. The fabric of our lives.
I love that we're having our anniversary, and I like when important things are celebrated, but let's not make it too big of a deal, you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. Yeah. We're very cool. We're celebrating, but we're cool about it every year.
We're chill. We're mad chill, y'all. We have no chill. What am I talking about? Yeah, last year we did Cats, and I believe we mentioned on the podcast it was a joke. Christina mentioned it as a joke, and I went, oh yeah, we are. And we went all in. We had cat ears on while we recorded the episode.
It was very fun.
We did a deep dive. We did the whole thing, and that was just a book of poetry. I believe the idea for this can be squarely put on another podcast.
Yeah, no, we do need to probably address the elephant in the room.
So Christina and I are really big fans of My Brother, and Me.
Yes.
And they did... They did a watch episode for this.
They did a really wild episode that I loved that was just off kilter and unhinged.
And then Christina ran with it. And that's how we got to where we are today.
No, I can tell you what happened. What happened was that My Brother and Me did this episode that was called The War with Grandpa. And all they did was dissect the trailer for The War with Grandpa for like an hour.
Yeah.
It was very funny. And I loved that episode. I just thought it was funny. But then months later, I'm on Etsy. And one of the Etsy shops that I follow that is one of my favorites, I've bought from them 1,000 times, is a used bookstore that is located in New York. It's an independent bookstore. And they look for like off-kilter books. And they had The War with Grandpa. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. The War with Grandpa is a book? Because I happen to know and co-star in a podcast that compares books and film. And I thought, what a wonderful way to celebrate our podcast, but with The War with Grandpa. And you said yes. So it is not just on me. It's also on you.
I co-signed on this because I also loved that episode and went, this is going to be brilliant.
This is fucking weird.
I had no idea. I was unaware. I feel bamboozled. First of all, we're going to talk about the book, but I just need to make one thing clear. This should not be called The War with Grandpa. It should be called How I Nearly Murdered My Grandpa in 101 Ways. And I'm sticking to it. So yeah, welcome to our anniversary show, The War with Grandpa.
The War with Grandpa, the book does start, well... Okay, The War with Grandpa is a book by Robert Kimmel Smith, published in 1984. And it is a very heartwarming tale.
Super heartwarming. We'll talk about my favorite heartwarming moment.
Oh, when Grandpa slaps the kid, or when...
Yes.
Is that your favorite part?
When Grandpa slaps the crap out of this child
He
on a
slaps
street.
the fuck out of that kid.
On a public street, outside, in public. And Grandpa's all like, war is pain.
You want to see what they did to me and Nom? He's real serious.
I feel like Grandpa has to be Lieutenant Dan for Forrest Gump.
Yeah. The war with Grandpa, the whole synopsis of it, it's the same between the book and the movie. It's that this little kid is displaced in his own home because his grandmother has died. Therefore, his mom wants to invite Grandpa to live with them. And Grandpa can't go to some of the other areas of the house, so he takes over the kid's room. The kid has to go up to the attic, and therefore he begins a war with Grandpa. And for one shred of a moment, I thought, actually, this is a decent book about grief and how kids can handle it. And then it got real wild from there.
Okay. This book is a roller coaster ride of emotions because, wait, before we talk about him moving to the attic, he actually moved into the guest room.
Yeah.
In the book, anyways. We're going to talk about what happened in the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to actually talk about the movie real quick first because I can see us going in and out of both.
We're definitely going to go in and out of both because that book was very short. How long did it take you to read the book?
1 day.
It took me exactly 30 minutes to read this book.
Yeah, I was going to say, and within 1 day, I don't mean it was an 8-hour shift here. It was,
like I knew that it was going to be a short book, so I waited to read it, and then I read it and went, huh, okay. It's no Jumanji, but like...
Yeah, I was going to compare this to Jumanji. The movie is The War with Grandpa. 2020 came out in everybody's favorite year. 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Directed by Tim Hill, starring a ton of people, including
great actors.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. and Oaks Fegley.
Robert Downey Jr. is not in this movie.
I mean, Robert De Niro.
Robert Downey Jr. is too young to play Grandpa. What are you talking about?
Robert Downey Jr. cold clocking this kid.
I would love to watch Robert Downey Jr. smack a child.
Like when he's got the Iron Man gear on and he just like powers up.
Yes, redo that scene in Iron Man when there's that kid in the shed who helps him rebuild his suit and instead he
Iron
just
Man
slaps him. The kid comes out and is like, Iron Man!
Whoopsies. So yeah, I'm sorry. Robert Downey Jr. is not in this film. It's Robert De Niro.
Christopher
Great,
Walken's
now I'm,
also in this
completely...
film. If you guys are wondering, it's It's not Robert.
It's Robert De Niro.
It's a weird Avengers movie.
No, but I was going to compare this to Jumanji because Jumanji is an insanely short book. This book is not as short. It's not a picture book. It's an actual like book. So younger readers, it's a book. It's not just pictures. But it's so short that pretty much everything in the book does make it to the movie. It's just like slight changes. And then the movie, though, is a huge expansion on the book. Yeah. So the movie has a ton of additions that aren't in the book. But for the most part, it's the same thing. So that's where it's like the same thing as Jumanji. Like, well, everything you got in the book is in the movie. But they're two very different things still. Yeah. It's weird.
They're extremely different. Like,
yeah.
To go back to Grandpa moves in.
Yeah.
And in the book and in the movie, Grandpa moves in. It's not Grandpa's choice to move in either. He says that. And it's not the son's choice to move his room. However, in the book, they describe the house. There's the main floor with the kitchen, the living room. There's a basement that's semi-furnished in the book. Then there's the second floor with a full bathroom. The boy's bedroom, Pete's bedroom, which turns into Grandpa's room. His sister's bedroom and his parents' bedroom. Then there's a third floor with a guest bedroom and a half bath. Mm-hmm. Now, in the movie, first of all, in the book, they talk about how they spent the whole week, like, slowly moving him up there, getting him acclimated to his new room so Grandpa could stay in the room downstairs. And it's a very nice moment in the book, like, this idea of moving on and up. Brilliant, perfect, wonderful. In the movie, they're just like, bye, kid, and throw him up in the attic. They don't clear out the attic. They don't do anything. In fact, I know I originally called this movie How to Kill Grandpa in 101 Ways. I think it needs to be changed to somebody please call Child Protective Services. Because that kid is up in that attic with all their junk. It's just his bed and his desk. For some reason, gets great Wi-Fi up there. But there is a bat in this attic. There is a rat running around chewing through all the wires in the attic. There's a hole in the ceiling. And it is raining on this poor child while he's trying to sleep. This is a need to call somebody. This is bad.
When he started freaking out about that bat, you know how excited I would have been to discover there was a bat? Like, if my parents said, you get to move to the attic, number one, cool.
Yeah.
I'm moving to the attic. I'm up there. It's cool up there. I would be like, okay, let's fix it up a little bit. But
yeah. Let's take all the junk out, for one.
I've always dreamt of living in the attic. Like, the little princess when she's,
Oh, my God, yes. She lives... Oh, my God. And she has a big window.
Yeah.
She has that big belt. Like, I am all about it. And then the next door neighbor's little monkey comes in and gives her all those treats and stuff. I'm all about it.
We should do a Little Princess
We
soon.
should definitely be doing a Little Princess instead right now.
Yeah, I want to do the Little Prince. Can we stop right now? I'll be right back, I swear to God.
We have to read the book and watch the movie.
I'll do it so fast you won't believe.
Oh, yeah, you better. We'll do it right now while we're on Skype. And that was a Little Princess.
Living in the attic sounds awesome. And then the fact that there's a bat. Hello, hi, please introduce, my new pet, a bat. I named him Bruce Wayne. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's either Vlad or Bruce. There's plenty, Rob. Plenty of Kiefer. I can name him Kiefer. Just see what his personality's like and then name him accordingly.
Yeah. You just need to know. You need to know, are you an 80s bat, a 90s bat, a 2000s bat, or are you vintage bat?
When I play saxophone music, he really appreciates it. So I'm starting to think he's more of the Lost Boys type of bat.
Yes. Wonderful. Welcome to the club, Kiefer.
I felt like the book is also really, you have pity for Grandpa, and there was a way where he explains that when his sister gets in trouble, she's got the mopes and she gets really mopey, and then he refers to his grandpa as having the mopes.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad, and it was interesting, this is kind of interesting to see grief through the eyes of a child. Perhaps this book will be very profound. And the movie too. Who knows?
Oh yeah. The movie was soups profound. Wonderful. That's the thing that I think really upset me from book to...
Yeah, I didn't like it.
From book to film. What he's struggling with in the book, Grandpa's struggling with the fact that his wife had just died a few months ago, because they mention that in the book, that it's only been a couple months, and he's sad about that. And I mean, yes, 100%. Me, yeah. I would be a wreck. I'd be like, nope, I'm good. Just leave me where I am. The movie turns it into the fact that she must have been gone for a longer period of time. And now Grandpa doesn't know technology so good. The whole setup to Grandpa is, wow, robot's so hard. Why do this? It's no, he's not...
And he's kind of like an ornery grandpa. Yes. He gets mad at the store. He's, the type of boomer grandpa. He doesn't understand stuff's changing, and he gets into a fight with a man trying to do his job.
And he's confused about making letters big on an iPad. And the thing that was making me mad is that I understand it. It's an easy gag to make the old man not understand technology. Mm-hmm. I get it. It's a trope. It happens, whatever. And it does happen in real life. There are, older people who don't fully understand how certain things work. That's totally fine. But then rather than help this man, Uma Thurman, rather than help your father, you just keep throwing more technology at him and thinking he'll pick it up. Because he asks where the paper is, and she goes, it's right here. iPad.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not how he does it. You are forcing somebody to acclimate to your lifestyle versus trying to live cohesively.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. And it was such a little thing that I was like, I don't like this. Why are they doing this to him? And Jesse was like, it's because old people don't know technology. And I was like, no, he's not that old. Robert De Niro is old, but he's not that old. This is like trying to make me suspend belief. I know Robert De Niro knows how computers work.
Yeah.
Because I know Robert De Niro. I know he knows how this works. This is like when they sent, what's their faces up to outer space in that space movie, and they got lost in space. Sandra Bullock. That's one. Remember
Gravity.
When they make her like a NASA scientist, and I'm like, I'm sorry, she's not a scientist. I cannot watch this movie. That was it for me.
Can I just say though, do you know how old Robert De Niro is?
72?
He was 77 when they filmed this movie. He's now 79 years old, nearly 80. Him and, I was going to say Quentin Tarantino, Jesus Christ. Him and Christopher Walken are the same age.
Okay.
They're the exact same age.
Then I need you to do something for me. Mm-hmm. Look up how old Cheech Marin is. He's also in this. He plays one of his friends.
Yeah.
Because he has a line that threw me for a loop and made me very unsure of what this movie was really supposed to be about.
He is 76 years, so he would have been like 73 or 74 at the time of the movie.
And yet, in the film, his character, when they go for a walk, the three of them towards the beginning of the film, he has a line where he's like, in a couple of years, I'll get my senior citizen discount to go skiing. Do you know that as a senior citizen, you are technically a senior citizen when you're 55?
Yeah.
Are you telling me this 70-year-old man is not a senior citizen? How old are you supposed... Are you telling me all three of these men are supposed to be almost 55? Is he just supposed to be almost 55? Who? How old are you people? And you don't know computers. My parents are not in their 50s anymore, and they know computers. Madonna
Your dad really knows
computers.
Photoshop.
My dad does know Photoshop. Do not look up my father, please. Anyways.
He's like a little internet celebrity.
Don't say that. He's gonna listen to this. This is gonna be the one episode he listens to, and he's like, why didn't you say my Instagram handle? Because I'm not going to.
I remember at one point on one of your dad's posts, I saw some like older lady who was like, I was just at the store thinking about you. And I don't think they were friends. I think she was just some person, like, in the outer circle.
Laughing at his posts.
Yeah, at his posts.
For clarity, people, my dad puts his head on other people's bodies.
To the point where sometimes he posts a normal picture and I'm looking for the head and like I can't see it. And I had to go, oh, he's just shared a picture. Yeah, he's not in it.
This is normal time. This isn't weird time. He's just out on vacation. This is normal. And then it's I can't.
I love your dad. I thought it was super cool that this movie acts like a what if the deer hunter didn't have a bad ending, and that this is a reunion from the deer hunter. Just like what if, and I won't, for those of you, I don't want to do any spoilers because the movie is recent. It's like 40 years old, so give everybody some time to watch it.
Yeah.
There's some story elements in the Deer Hunter where, let's just say, it doesn't end too well for our characters that we follow, Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken. But had the last events, the last few scenes changed, this could have very easily been their future.
Yeah.
And that's what I decided to believe.
Imagine? Oh my God. No, see, okay, now you've got me being like, oh man, I need to watch Somewhere with Grandpa with that as the overlay. And I will probably enjoy this. I clearly recall sending Christina a message yesterday going, did you watch this movie? I
hadn't yet. I decided to be as close as possible to recording time when I saw how long the book was. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to do that this weekend. I'm going to wait until like Monday night, and then I'm going to wait until like Thursday, between Thursday and when we record. Nice and fresh.
I can't. The whole film. I already told Christina this, but Jesse looked at me. We are maybe 10. We are at the scene when the kid is in the attic fighting the bat, and Jesse looks at me and goes, sure you guys just don't want to do cats again? It's like, I would. Now I would. It just, the parents are awful. It bothered me that the parents were so crappy. The older sister
She's like out to lunch. I don't know what she's up to.
I didn't even remember her being in the movie at some points.
I didn't either.
There are parts of the film where you can easily say something's going to happen. And like they draw up that truce about his sister's birthday and was like, that little boy's going to ruin this.
Yeah.
Honestly, reading the book, I felt really bad for both the kid and the grandfather, especially the part towards the end of the book where the kid steals Grandpa's teeth.
I know.
And it was so gut-wrenching. It was very sad. And I was like, oh. And there wasn't anything super dangerous about what the two of them were doing.
But it was psychological still.
Yes. But at the same time, it was kind of like a fun, cutesy, like, I'll steal your Monopoly, you'll steal my teeth, and then everything will be fine. And they really got back together and realized at the end that war, oh, good God, y'all, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And they were able to come back together, and Grandpa built his own apartment in the basement because that should have been the first thing anyways, because your dad he goes to work too. He doesn't need to work, whatever. Anyways, the whole point being it wasn't dangerous.
Yeah.
And nobody else got hurt.
Yeah.
Everything this child did hurt his grandfather, and the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, are kids supposed to align themselves with this child? Because I'm aligning myself up with Grandpa, and the whole time I was like, slap him. I want the slap from the book in this movie. Slap him.
And it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I wanted Grandpa to slap him so hard. I was like, I wanted all of those old people to just like castrate these children. I was like, I'm done. These kids are awful. They are rotten. And that kid never gets in trouble. He never gets his comeuppance.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. There is no moral to the movie.
No, and there's like easy fixes to stuff too. Like I even thought it was weird with Uma Thurman. Oh, by the way, Uma Thurman is in this movie.
Yeah, she's a mom.
She's the mom.
And she's not a good mom either. She's an absentee mom for 90% of the film. Until her daughter's crazy Christmas birthday party, she's not even there.
If I could have a Christmas birthday party.
Yeah.
I was like, I had birthday parties when I was a kid. I know you didn't really have birthday parties, right?
No, I didn't have a birthday party.
Sorry, but we're not going to talk about that. So, but I had birthday parties. Stop talking so I can talk about my birthday parties. Okay. God, Nikki. So, I had birthday parties when I was a kid that were awesome. I was like, a Christmas themed birthday party, that sounds like so much fun. And you can just pull out your Christmas decorations, throw them up, and then make like some cookies and make a ham. That would have been so cute. Yeah.
That sounds like a cheap way to celebrate a birthday because you already have all that stuff on hand.
And that's why the brilliance of it. The brilliance of it. So much fun.
They never explained why that girl was obsessed with Christmas either.
I didn't need an explanation. I got it.
Okay, but wait. So this Christmas birthday party, I don't think we're explaining it very well. We're jumping all over the place, but I have to say something. The dad works for a company that like builds Walmarts. Right? I'm so confused about what the dad does for a living. And the mom,
I love the unnecessary details in bad movies. Yes. They're the best, and this is one of them.
But the mom works at a car dealership. Mind you, neither of them are the presidents, the CEOs, or anything of where they work. No. Did you see that Christmas party? That girl walked out.
Yeah.
They had snow.
Like the Girls Next Door, the Snow Place Like Home episode of the Girls Next Door.
They had a bouncy castle. Do you know how expensive it is to rent a bouncy castle?
See, and the bouncy castle, that's like standard. That's standard. That makes sense for... Well, no, I mean, like, especially for a movie. Yeah. A movie with, a kid's birthday party
always has a bounce house.
But a snow machine and an entire winter wonderland. They had a nicer winter wonderland than, like, Barnes & Noble does when they start doing their, like, Christmas read-along sessions.
I'm sorry. They had a better winter wonderland than, the Mickey's Christmas party when it snows on Main Street. Because this was chipped ice. This was not foam. Because it was landing on a plate, an open plate of hamburgers and hot dogs, and I'm watching it fall on the food, and I'm like, my first thought was, in The Wizard of Oz, that was asbestos? And I couldn't shake the fact that they were going to all get sick eating these hamburgers and hot dogs, and I was like, oh no, this is like a rich people thing.
Yeah.
It's gotta be ice. And then I was like, where did all that money they don't, what are, listen, if you're in the mall, blink twice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how you did this. He designed squares. They show him and he's just making one long square and they're like, yes, that's for Walmart. And I was like, that makes sense to me.
The comfort of middle-class families for movie purposes in order to avoid plot issues, it gets to be so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there's one line in this movie when Grandpa ends up in the hospital and he's in the hospital bed talking and he says something like, it doesn't matter about the money, I'll be able to pay you guys back. It's like one line. And we're to assume that Grandpa is probably loaded, you know?
Yeah. I would imagine he is.
Medicine woman is going to be rolling in
Dr.
some
Quinn,
Botox and some nice clothing. She's going to be good. But it's just kind of lazy and a little like eye rolling when you see that party. It's like, this is not believable.
Especially when you go back and think about that their son is living in an attic that was not cleared out, that has a hole in the roof, and it rains on him.
It's like a very Cinderella type situation for this little kid.
Yeah, he's like 10 seconds away from singing In My Own Little Corner at this point. You know what I mean?
In my own little attic on my own little chair.
I'll play my World of Warcraft free. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. And the thing with the bat, too, that bothered me later in the movie is the fact that he invites a snake into the home.
And it was a nice snake, too.
And then he leaves it. This kid, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say exactly what I said to you. This kid's a dick. This kid is awful. This kid is terrible. This is the worst child I have ever seen.
You know what bummed me out?
What?
When Grandpa's listening to the record and thinking about his dead wife, and then the record it breaks, and then it nearly decapitates him. That was a bummer for me. I didn't find that funny.
I nearly cried when the marbles went down into the air vent. And he literally just told us this beautiful story about how Grandpa builds houses, or he used to build houses, and you'd always find marbles in the foundation. And then the jar broke, and all of those marbles went all over the place. And then the kid has the audacity to be like, whatevs. Like, he's downstairs laughing when the sister's like, Grandpa lost his marbles. And he's like, like, what a little
bummer.
turd.
Yeah, and because it's something special. And then it was weird, too, because Grandpa decides to make these rules. And the very first one is no collateral damage.
Yeah.
Do you see what happens to the parents in this movie? No collateral damage?
Yeah.
Uma Thurman is one ticket away from going to prison for the rest of her life.
I'm sorry. She should go to prison. I'm sorry. Child Protective Services have been called by me. That poor child. And who let him have a computer up there anyways if there's a hole in your roof? Electricity, water, hello?
Now, I had a question. Okay. How could he see Grandpa from the attic? When he's got the little remote car that goes in and he's like peeking and he's like looking at Grandpa, almost like it's through the slats in the roof or something.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
How could he see him?
Is he being a pervy little child spying on his
That's
grandpa?
what I was thinking too. Can he see Grandpa at all times of the day? Like, I don't want to be watching people at all times of the day. I don't need to see.
And why would you want Grandpa up in
do.
that room if you know that you can see directly into your bedroom? Also, let's get to the point about the whole Grandpa penis thing. Twice.
There's so much of the Grandpa penis.
Why? Why is the Grandpa penis? It is not. There are things in this that are definitely written as if they were going to be laugh riot moments. Like, someone's gonna watch this scene and they're gonna cackle so hard soda comes out their nose. No, it was confusing. It's so why the Grandpa penis? Why Grandpa penis?
I have to tell you what I did at this point. I made Carlos watch. My husband Carlos. I made him watch this movie this morning with me, and he had zero expectations. Had no idea. I said we're going to watch The War with Grandpa. And I think he thought automatically, because it's me, that this was some sort of old TCM 1940s movie. So when it started, so first he realized that I charged the rental to his account. So already, this is a dick move by me. I charged him to watch this movie. So I charged the rental to his account, so that was shitty of me. I'm basically the kid. Then...
What a dick.
Yeah. Then it starts, and he sees the opening credits, and he's like, "Is this a new movie?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." And it starts, and he goes, "Is this like a YA movie?" And I said, "Yeah, a little bit." And then he goes, "Robert De Niro." Like every single time someone showed up, he's like, "Uma Thurman, Cheech Marin." Every single time, it was so funny, and. He's like, I'm concerned this is a comedy. Because it was so not funny.
It's not funny.
And he wasn't laughing.
I'm sorry. They threw in a joke about North Korea.
That's not funny?
It's not funny. The kid says something about, like... And it's at the beginning of the movie, too. It's not like it's embedded somewhere, and it's not something racist grandpa says. It is the little kid who says it. The little kid says, like, he even gives his whole address. That was so weird. It was weird. It's a weird line that he says, because he's like, yeah, well, 123 Baker Street isn't in North America. It's in North Korea. And it was like, who is this for? As an adult, I do not connect with this child or his friends. Or that one kid who had that catchphrase.
The
bully.
Wait, which kid?
The bully had that stupid catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, what was his stupid line?
Something, isn't it? Something, isn't it?
Yeah.
That just happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, looks like that just happened. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why does the bully need a catchphrase? What are you trying to do here?
What I missed from the movie that's in the book is his little shitty friend Steve in the book, because the kid in the book so our main character in the book is sympathetic towards Grandpa, but he doesn't understand what Grandpa's doing. So that's why he gets all huffy and puffy about it. He doesn't come up with the fighting Grandpa idea on his own. He gets the idea from his psychotic fucking friend Steve. And Steve, I swear to God, is like the kid in Toy Story. Okay? Sid, yes. Sid, Steve, we're so close. And Steve is like, you gotta get your grandpa. And he starts talking about guerrilla warfare and how he needs to start a war. And I kind of liked the fact that the kid didn't come up with the idea. It's the shitty friend that put it. And so I thought when the movie opens with him walking in with his friends. So I thought, okay, one of the friends is going to be Steve. But you don't really get a Steve type character that's egging him on to do these
friends
atrocities.
Are stupid. He's got the one friend who's got an older sister. And I think those were supposed to be jokes too.
It was weird.
Jokes
and there was a weird tension between them.
Like,
no.
Comedy was like, hey, do you guys need me? And they were like, no, not this time. It was just gone. It was not funny. Like, oh, found your underwear. The funniest part about it was Jessie goes, ooh, that girl's super Canadian. Because she says something and she extends her O and Jessie goes, oh, Canada. And I was like, what is happening? It's just not funny. It's not funny. His friends are dumb. Steve in the book, though, 100% would have stormed the Capitol. I'm sorry.
He was the main one with the fucking like.
Yes, the shaman. He's the shaman guy. You guys, no, like legit. That
was definitely Steve's future. You're 100% correct.
Steve has a bunker. Like that's where we're at. Steve has a bunker and he is ready for whatever happens. Steve wears tinfoil hats and is very concerned about vaccines. That is Steve.
He grows up to be John Malkovich. That's how he's going to look in the future. Who I'm surprised was not in this movie, now that I say his name.
You know, when I read the title to the movie, I assumed, especially seeing who was in the cast, I was like, okay, there's a lot of little kids. and there's Christopher Walken. And,
I loved in this movie. Sorry.
And Robert Downey Jr. I thought at some point Robert De Niro and that little boy were going to come to a truce. And what was going to happen is that we were going to find out that they come to a truce because there's a competition that Grandpa wanted. I'm rewriting the movie now because this is what I hoped would happen. That something was going to happen where Grandpa and the little boy were going to have to team up to fight Christopher Walken and his grandson. And I thought the war with Grandpa was going to be a grandpa war.
But I think you're onto something there, because at some point when it was the merry birthday, the Christmas birthday party, I had paused the movie right before that happened to go to the bathroom, and I saw how much time was left in the movie. So I thought,
a whole lot of time.
So yeah, a bunch of time is left at that point. So I thought, okay, with this much time left, I see them drawing a truce, but then maybe they're working together, and now it's like them against one of the sisters or something.
Yeah.
Like they're going to start working together, and they're going to take down like the actual problem, or the bully. I figured the bully too.
Yeah.
That happened. Like I thought, I was like, I know something's going to happen with this bully. So maybe they're going to team up against him for the last like 10 minutes or something. But it's not exactly what happened.
No, but what did happen was brilliant. Those costumes, top notch.
I laughed at everything that Christopher Walken did.
Oh, so good.
Everything he did, I thought was actually funny, and I don't know if my taste in comedy is not so good, maybe, but it made me laugh.
It's just the way he moved.
Yeah.
He moved like he was still in that Fat Boy Slim music video.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when he is writing the thing in his little kid pad that he's got, and he's like, whoa. And it's so weird because it doesn't match what the feet are doing that the stunt person's doing. It was bizarre.
It doesn't match at all. It doesn't match at all. Okay, but wait.
Robert De Niro looks pretty good for 77.
He does. I would buy that he was almost 55 like Cheech Marin.
He kept taking off his clothes. You couldn't keep clothes on Robert De Niro in this movie.
No. He was having a hot girl summer. Let's get real.
He was. You could tell that he had been like working out, and he was sort of proud of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't need to take off your shirt, sir. And he's like, no, I think that my shirt rips. My shirt.
My shirt
been burping.
Okay, is this a Dorian Gray situation where he's gonna start getting younger and we're gonna get older because we watched The War with Grandpa?
I lost the war.
Oh my god, is this like the Ring in 7 days? We're just gonna be old because we watched the tape. Don't watch this movie. But wait. You were talking about the holiday, the merry birthday with Christopher Walken. You paused it right before it happened.
No, but I thought that they were going to team up in a different way.
Yeah.
But the ending was weird. It was a very weird ending. And then I was just so confused. Like, how much money do these people have?
Yeah.
Your house is destroyed.
Yeah. Completely destroyed. So they draw a truce. I think we need to explain what happens to this house. Robert De Niro is obsessed with this tree, but they never explain why.
No.
They never say anything about the tree. I thought at some point they were going to find out, like, he built the house that they are living in.
Yeah.
And that he planted that tree with his wife and Uma Thurman as, like, a thing that he wanted to do because as his family grew, he wanted the tree. You know, some stupid old man.
They planted the seeds for that type of stuff.
They really did. And then nothing came of it because they even make a point to be like, the little girl's like, Grandpa's just looking at that tree again. Okay, so now we know Grandpa's crazy because they don't talk about why he's looking at the tree. So they draw this truce, but the little kid's still a dick. Are you looking at the tree now? Jeez. Maybe he thinks he's in Signs, or what's the other M. Night Shyamalan one where they're all in the woods?
The trees? The Happening.
The Happening. That's what Grandpa's looking at. So
I never saw that movie.
It's the trees. So I won't spoil it, but trees. They draw this truce so they don't ruin the little sister's birthday. Which, as soon as they drew the truce, I looked at Jesse and went, someone's going to ruin this birthday party. I didn't expect it to be everybody ruining the birthday party, but everyone does ruin this birthday party. And the little boy's friends are like, are you sure that he's not going to try anything? And he's like, oh, yeah. Anyways, I already rigged it. And it was like, you went into, this is premeditated. I'm saying this right now. This is a premeditated murder that you are trying to do here. And what happens is he finds out that his grandpa is not actually playing Santa, even though he thought he was. It's Christopher Walken playing Santa.
Which I loved.
Doesn't even look like him, though.
It doesn't look anything like Santa. It looks like scary Santa.
It looks very bizarre.
Because he even had, like, the red on his cheeks and his little nose.
It was very, like, that mall that's closing down slowly Santa vibe. You know what I mean? Like, the Santa was, like, a little, like, 3 sheets to the wind at that point. But
when he falls and he's just face down, I'm like, someone needs to help him.
I thought he died.
I thought he
100% died. But like the kid hands Robert De Niro a soda at one point, and Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, tells him, like, maybe it's just because the soda explodes, and he's like, maybe it's just a fluke. And my first thought was, no, it's not. That kid is getting back at him. That kid shook that soda. There's no way a soda would explode like that on its own. And then the kid squirts ketchup on Grandpa.
Sorry, Grandpa, it was a mistake, I promise.
It was not a mistake, you're a dick. And then Grandpa's like, fine then, and squirts right back at him. But the whole time, the dad had seen the kid fiddling around with Santa's chair. Yeah. Does not say anything. The kid was setting a Santa timer that made, like, a magic... How did the kid make a magic ejector seat? The kid makes a magic ejector seat that can only eject Christopher Walken and pushes him straight up in the air. He falls. He's falling down. A bunch of stuff gets knocked over. The stupid older sister to the dumb kid, who I don't know why she was invited to this young child's birthday party, falls face first into the Christmas-themed cake. The Christmas tree falls over. It's set ablaze. No one knows how to put out a fire except for the small, like, dick child. He puts it out, and Grandpa's staring at him like, you did it. You put the fire out. And the kid's looking at him like, can't believe we did that. And then the big tree Grandpa looks at every day falls onto the house, destroying half the house. Grandpa rushes to push the small child out of the way. Grandpa gets crushed by a tree. And the siding of the house falls down. The older sister is making out in her bedroom with her boyfriend. And all Uma Thurman cares about is the fact that her older daughter is in the bedroom making out with her boyfriend. No, at no point does she rush to either her small child whose birthday has been ruined, her father who is now crushed under a tree, Christopher Walken who is still laying face down in a Santa suit, or her small son who had to put out a fire. No, she's mad at her teenage daughter for making out.
Russell.
Yes. That was his name. I couldn't remember. Why did she chase him at the hospital? It's so bizarre. I thought she was gonna, like, beat him up, and then she's like, you're coming over tomorrow to fix our house and be friends with us because I won't lose my teenage daughter. Are you kidding? What is this? What did I watch? And this doesn't even go into detail about all the stuff this kid did to him. The kid, he falls on his back numerous times. Could have broken many hips. The kid presses the life alert button. This one, though. That one, I do have to say, I have AED training. You cannot put an AED machine on somebody who is physically moving and talking to you. And they're ripping open his shirt because he, never skips.
Yeah, he's like, I've been working out. I look good, guys.
His pecs were all like, I'm surprised he didn't make it dance. Boom.
Like a Terry Crews.
Yes. That was messed up. And the kid's laughing about that, too, when he sees all those ambulances go. Do you know how many people probably died so you could play a prank on your grandpa?
Well, let's just talk about your freaking grandpa, okay? If you know anybody with a bad back, all right, I've been having to, deal with the bad back situation over in my neck of the woods, double between our dog and my husband. If someone with a bad back falls the way that Grandpa or Christopher Walken got launched into the air and fell on the ground and then was unconscious for 5 minutes, this person's life might be ruined.
Yeah.
Okay. Dead zone.
And given the age, ruined forever, as in like
as we say in this podcast, I feel bad for the bones.
I feel bad for the bones. I felt so bad for the bones. And we didn't even talk about the fact that Grandpa goes to a funeral of a friend. And this dick kid changed the sound alarm on his phone. Grandpa drops the phone into the casket.
He's lucky. He's lucky that they finish the bottom part of the body, because sometimes it gets a little janky at the bottom of that. There's a reason why they close that part of the casket out of viewing.
That kid had the audacity of a middle-aged white man who's a CEO of a business to say, "How was the funeral, Grandpa?" Are you? That was when I was hoping. That was when I was hoping he was going to go over there and slap him and be like, "Do you know what it's like for me?" I wanted him to go full Robert De Niro and be like, "Oh, you think it's funny, huh?" Yeah. I wanted full mob boss. We got semi-mob boss when they went to the lake, but no, I want him to slap this kid. That kid had no repercussions for anything he did. Yeah. Nothing at all, period. Oh, so he gets punched in the face by the school bully? Cool. You just made Grandpa touch his friend's dead body. Hope that felt good for you, kid.
There's room for an actually good movie here too. You throw in more heart. Yeah. You throw in more, because I'm looking at Robert De Niro and I think to myself, he is actually, even something about the way his face has changed as he's gotten older. He's reminiscent of Carl in Up. Like, there's very much like a very loving grandpa vibe that he has, but he's grumpy, you know? He's still kind of like a dick older person. And I thought, like, there's room for some heart here, and there's room for growth in one of those like feel good movies that come out like this, for the little kid to learn what it means to have grief and to learn about death through like his grandpa experiencing the death of his wife. Yeah. But then the grandpa to teach the kid, like, you still need to respect your elders. Yeah. Okay. You still need to give us respect. And this is what my life is like, have empathy for me and have like growth between the two. And it could have been kind of fun. And there's also room for fun, older people, slapstick comedy. And I don't know if you ever watched Community. Mm-mm. Okay,
Sorry, everybody. I didn't watch a lot of shows for a period of time.
That's okay. So on Chevy Chase is on Community, and Chevy Chase is well known for being kind of an asshole.
Yes, he is.
But at the end of the day, on Community, he has some slapstick like moments where it's just like, sorry, the guy's kind of a physical genius. Yeah. He's so funny. When he does physical comedy, it's so funny. And he's an older man doing it on Community. And that's part of the joke, is that he's an older man and he's like doing stuff older men should not be doing. And like, had you had that kind of comedy, and I think Robert De Niro can do it too, but it's not like as crazy and as big as they try to do in this movie. You tone it down a little bit. Yeah. And it could have been a fun movie, but it's just so bonkers crazy that it probably is a slightly better movie than what you might end up with if you're babysitting one day. Like, there's some doozies. You might be babysitting and they say, "This is my favorite movie," and you're like, "I want to kill myself." And you want it, and it's just like that for 2 hours, and then they go, "Put it on again," and you're like, "Oh no, I'm stuck here." And had I been babysitting and a little kid puts on War with Grandpa, I wouldn't have been like completely upset. Yeah. But it's still just such a bonkers movie.
They play dodgeball at a trampoline place. I just wanted to
They actually didn't. The way that the kids are having the blast of their life filming this scene, you could tell how happy they were. And then it cuts to these old people that are just kind of standing there, and then it cuts to like their stunt doubles doing stuff.
Well, they're all on, you can definitely tell that they were all on wires.
Yeah.
Especially the one kid's doing them flips and stuff, and I was thinking, okay, wait, I will say I applauded a part in this film. And that's because when they get in there, they're like, they set the ground rules for dodgeball, and they're like, one of them goes, no headsies. And Christopher Walken goes, no nutsies. It's like, that's hilarious. This is a good line. Check one. One line was great. And that other stupid kid was like, yeah, what he said. Well, that kid hits Cheech Marin in the face with a ball. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, guess I wasn't paying attention. And then Cheech Marin nails him in the nuts. And I was like, this is perfect. This scene.
This is comedy gold.
That was it for me. I was like, I'm out. Only show me this one clip of the kid getting hit in the nuts with the ball. I'm good. I just hated those kids so much. I really did. I have never... Usually when it sees films where it's this us against them situation, there is a definite hero and a definite villain.
Yeah.
There is nothing. There's no actual problem here. The problem is, actually there is a problem. The problem is that kid doesn't get disciplined enough at home. That's the problem. He's given everything that he's ever wanted. And they make a point of saying that in the book. In the book, the kid is complaining about like, well, you stole my room. And he's like, do you know what I had to deal with when I was a kid?
Yeah.
I didn't have my own room. I shared my room. And on top of that, I didn't get to go out and get what I wanted at the candy store. I didn't get to do any of these things because we didn't have that opportunity that you have now.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly like you said. There's a moment that they could have added in there to really bring home the fact that this is what's going on. Yeah. This is what is missing, is this whole idea that like Grandpa's from a different generation. You don't have to make that generation unable to do electronics. What you need to do is make the boy understand that Grandpa's generation isn't that foreign to what he's dealing with now. There was a way that they could mirror some of the... Easy enough. Christopher Walken is the villain grandpa who picks on. His grandson is the bully. Christopher Walken, I figured it out. Christopher Walken's grandson is the bully at the school who's constantly picking on Robert De Niro's grandson. And Christopher Walken picks on Robert De Niro. That's how you save this film. That's how you have that connection where it's like, well, when I was growing up, I also had a bully. And I also had to deal with things where I had to give up my room, my stuff. Literally talk about the war. That's how you do it. Even just
like the comparison between, I lost I lost my wife. You lost your room.
Yeah. Yes.
I lost my wife. You lost your room.
Yeah. Exactly. You have to put it into a context. Like, instead they just don't. They're so focused on joke that and they never land. Yeah. And there's no. With comedy, there are, peaks and valleys. You need to get us to a point where we're laughing so hard that when we get to that sad moment, it's okay to feel bad. But we know something funny is going to happen again. There is no... The whole beginning of the movie is just sad for me. Yeah. Because it comes off... At first, I was extremely worried. I was very worried. It comes across that he has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Or dementia. And as anyone who's dealt with that can tell you, that sucks.
It sucks majorly.
Awful. It is horrendous. Yeah. And you are literally watching somebody see you disappear and you don't know it. So to have that as kind of like the start of your film where it feels like that's where you're going, I was nervous. And then it never got back. There was no comedy to save me. I was like, I don't understand Grandpa. Get him the jitterbug if you're so confused, like, with phones. You know what I mean? Do they still make the jitterbug? My Nana had a jitterbug. I'm sure a lot of people's grandparents had the jitterbug.
No, it's like they're... I think that people get afraid of heart. Like, they get afraid of... They become afraid of... like truth. And I think that they were just looking for a lot of comedy, and the fact that this came out in 2020 just for some reason makes it feel even like more ironic that it's not funny and also doesn't have heart.
Well, what makes it even worse is, did you see, this wasn't supposed to come out in 2020.
Right.
It had been pushed back multiple times.
Yeah, the kid's like 25 now.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in I think it was supposed to originally come out in 2019. Or was it 2018? It was supposed to come out at one of those
I
two
think it
times.
was earlier. It was
Yeah.
like a while ago it was shelved.
It was shelved for an extremely long time, and that's what makes it feel even weirder is that these jokes weren't any funnier 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm trying to put myself in the mindset that I would have been in, pre-COVID, and it's like, nope, still not funny. I'm still not associating with the child who you've made to be the hero since he's our storyteller. I associated more with the book kid.
Yeah.
And
the one time I thought, okay, there might be something is when they go out fishing together. And it was kind of funny too when it's like the Lyft driver and he's like, what about that guy? He just left you? Yeah. It's like, that's the Lyft driver. I don't know who the hell that is. Like, that was funny.
But that was also weird too because he keeps calling the same Lyft driver.
I know. But like the when they are fishing, it's almost immediately stopped. Yeah. They go out fishing and the little kid goes, this is kind of fun. And I thought, oh, okay, so they're going to have a heart-to-heart moment out here fishing. Immediately, it's the other guy who is in the boat and he comes up and goes, oh, you fishing? Well, too bad it's illegal here. And then it's them running from the law. And there's like one tiny moment that was kind of funny where it's like the boat chasing the other boat. Yeah. And they're both going really slow. He's like, he's gaining on us. And then it's like a quick cut to like an aerial shot of the boat and it's going really slow. It's kind of funny. The editing in this movie was actually... It was pretty good, yeah. It was pretty good. So whoever the editor is, the one person who showed up
editor. You knew what you were doing.
Trying to save this movie. It's all up to me.
Oh,
and
man.
My 10 fingers.
My magic finger. It's, that joke would have landed harder if they would have had that heart-to-heart.
Honestly.
And then that's where we do the changeover, and then they fight Christopher Walken. I just want to see Robert De Niro fight Christopher Walken. I want old man fight.
At the end of the movie, the grandpas, it's Cheech and Robert and Christopher.
Yep.
You know who they are by now.
Yeah. The grandpas. The G's.
They decide to physically assault a crime to a child. The bully at the school.
It's so
And
good.
they throw him in a dumpster. And when they appear, you see Robert De Niro and Cheech, and then from behind the bully, Christopher Walken like appears almost like Batman. And when I say I laughed really hard,
I thought this was the best scene in the whole movie.
It was the best part of the whole movie.
This was the clothes that they are wearing. They're all wearing leather jackets. Christopher Walken looks like he is swimming in his clothes. He looked like he fell into a 1990s pair of Jinko jeans. Like he is just...
Speaking of Zach Bagans, like it's basically Zach Bagans, like circa.
It is so good. It is
2014.
It is. I need to know the costume designer for this one scene. You were phenomenal. This was so beautiful. Good. It was so. The visualization of I didn't even care what they were saying. The look of the three of them trying to be super tough in these.
It's like rap music playing in the background.
It is very terrible. It is kind of terrible when you think about it in one context. It's like,
oh,
yeah.
Oh, you think? I mean, we can even make some comments about the fact that Robert De Niro begins his introduction in this movie fighting with a
black guy,
grocery store worker.
Yep. A guy who's trying to do his
that
job.
one had some connotations to it too.
Yeah. There was only one other person of color in that scene, in the opening scene. Although that was funny when she hits him with a bag of cheese puffs and they explode everywhere. The silliest thing, the things that had no bearing on the actual plot. Small moments. So far I've named 3 moments in a 2-hour-long film. Three moments that were like seconds long, but this part where they're in those leather jackets, and I'm 100% certain Christopher Walken was wearing a do-rag. Am I wrong? It is not culturally right,
correct.
But it is the leather jackets, the tough guy. Christopher Walken can't do a tough guy stance to save his life. Not now, anyways. And it was
he can do anything.
Yeah, yes, he could do anything. Who am I kidding? I saw him play dodgeball in this movie. He can do anything. They throw that kid into the nastiest trash can. What school is this? What school in the world has a trash can that looks like this? We went to public school, and I never saw a trash can look like this. And we were hanging around outside behind the back of the school waiting to get in for play practice. You know, this wasn't a thing. It was a mess. It was a mess of a scene, and it should have been the whole movie.
One of my favorite lines in this movie is when Robert De Niro says, he says, "Don't start something, there won't be nothing." Yes. I liked that line because that's the PG version of fuck around, find out.
Yes.
You can replace that line, "Don't start something, there won't be nothing," with fuck around, find out. It's the exact same delivery. It's so good.
I feel like there are parts in this movie where Robert De Niro definitely wanted to go more Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, it's a kid's film.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it's like that meme where people are like, you know, Phil Collins, you don't have to go that hard. It's just Tarzan. It's a Disney film. And then they play the song and you're like, whoa. That is what it felt like they were trying to do with Robert De Niro. It's like, you don't have to go that hard. And he's like, I'm going to do it. And then they were like, okay, but now you have to drop the F word. Like, you can't say that. I don't understand this. I don't understand who this movie is for. I think that's my problem because there is no... If it's for older people, we want to see that kid get in trouble. We want there to be... Every action has a consequence, and we want him to face a consequence at some point. The only consequence he faces, and we don't even see... is he gets grounded. I'm sorry. Yeah. Chounded. Chores plus grounded.
Chounded?
Was that how they said it? Chounded? It sounds like you're vomiting. Chounded.
Chounded? Something like
Chorted?
that. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. It was a weird word. Like and that's it.
Clumsy.
Yeah. It was like they couldn't figure out a funny thing to say there. It's comedy in every scene. We got to make another funny line. Quick,
Rob Riggle said it. That means it must be funny.
Yes. Say it again. No, it wasn't funny. It didn't make sense. That's the only thing that we hear is that he's going to be grounded and have to do chores.
For 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
After nearly killing Grandpa 3 times. Wow. Good for you.
On screen.
Yeah.
There could have been even more death attempts that were just not included.
That is also true. We have no idea what else was happening.
But, you know, had they done more of that, like, what was that movie? Something about buying a zoo.
We Bought a Zoo.
We Bought a Zoo.
It's literally called We Bought a Zoo. What's that movie? You know, the one where they buy a zoo? Oh, Dumbo? No.
It's sort of, I like the movies that just give it all away. So like We Bought a Zoo, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, Lone Survivor. Like it just.
I wonder if he lives at the end of that one.
The title alone will tell you what's gonna happen. Wonder if that loan's gonna go through for the zoo.
I wonder if that loan's gonna go through for the survivor.
Hope he's got health insurance. No, okay.
Is that the last loan survivor? He has to get a loan for a house.
No, but We Bought a Zoo. Okay, movies like that, which they're feel-good movies. Yeah. There's gonna be a conflict, but there's gonna be heart in it. Some bitch is going to be crying somewhere. Yeah. Someone else is just going to be laughing at the movie. It's still kind of like comedy-esque. Okay. War with Grandpa should have been more of like a YA comedy with heart.
Yeah.
So you've got comedy in it for sure. That's probably the number one thing. But that there's a lot of heart to it so that grandparents could take their kids to go see it. And a grandparent could be like, okay, this is how we're bonding. We're going to be watching this movie together. I know you don't want to come here, but there's going to be fart jokes. Christopher Walken's going to talk about nuts. It's okay. You're going to get the comedy, but there's also still going to be the moments on the boat and, you know, lots of bonding and everything and a shared experience.
Can I tell you, as soon as the movie ended, I turned to Jesse and I was like, do you know what I want to watch more than anything right now? And he was like, what? It was like Grumpy Old Men.
I cannot remember that. I barely remember that movie. I watched that when I was a kid.
My Nana and Grandpa loved Grumpy Old Men and Grumpy Old Men 2 with Anne Margaret. And I was like obsessed with these movies growing up. That's what I wanted. That's the old people I wanted.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. I know we're not talking about that movie, but Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro, grumpy old men. I'm just, I put it out there. We'll see what happens. But no, to your point, this film feels weird because, and maybe it's just because we are Disney adults. I'll admit it. I'm obsessed. I'm a Disney adult. Disney has a way of doing live action films with kids and adults that feels complete for both the adult and the child. You don't feel like you're not getting satisfaction from someplace in here.
Up. You can be a kid and watch Up. You can be an adult and watch Up. It works. It makes perfect
sense either way. Yeah. And not even just Disney. Universal did Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Mm-hmm. It has both adults, has Steve Zahn. It has adults and kids, and it works. It works because it has at the heart of it, there is literal heart. Whereas at the heart of this, I think they kind of lost what the point was. I think if they had watered this down to the idea that Grandpa is depressed because his wife has just died.
Yeah.
And the kid is upset that he lost his room and they both need to understand that loss is difficult and it happens on different spectrums. Just because somebody's loss is greater than somebody else's doesn't mean you can't discuss loss.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
Think about, like, the kid telling, like, Grandpa, like, why are you just looking at this tree when there's all these other things that you can be doing?
Yep.
And then Grandpa learns that, Grandma's gone. But in a way, he gets a second chance of just living his life. Yeah. And now, instead of he had to go to Florida with his wife because she was starting to have ailing, like, health and everything. Now he gets to really bond alone with the grandson. Yeah. And that is its own weird gift, even though, he's lost love of his life.
Yeah.
But then the kid learns, like, yeah, you lost your room, but it's because Grandpa needs it right now. Grandpa needs your room more than you do. And look, now you have a really cool attic. And Grandpa now, because he's worked on houses in the past, is going to help you redo the attic. Yes. Okay, you like video games? You like playing video games? Grandpa's going to help you build this desk. Yeah. So now you and Grandpa are going to build the desk all summer. That should have been his... You get to fix the house with Grandpa.
Yep.
Uma Thurman should have sat them down with 20 minutes left of the movie and go, you two are fixing my house together. I don't care if you two don't like each other, do it together. And then that's when they start the bonding process. Hello, bing, bang, boom. Why are we not producers here?
You say that whole thing about building, and you just opened up a whole new idea. I'm sorry. They set this up, and I don't know why I didn't think of it until literally as soon as you were talking about building stuff. There is a full-on part of this movie where Grandpa is spying on his grandkid, building in a video game.
In a video game. They have it together.
They could have, the bonding moment, the kid could have taught Grandpa how to build in the game, and the Grandpa could have taught him how to build in real life. Why was this not a thing?
But even think about the Alzheimer's things. They say that, like, people with Alzheimer's, it's really good for them to start doing video games and stuff like that. And there's the proven, like, all of the studies where it actually helps prevent Alzheimer's when they start doing that. Hello.
I mean, I don't even want to get into the part about the husband.
I'm annoyed now.
I'm so mad. I'm also mad because at the end of the movie, I turned to Jesse and I was like, so are we not going to find out if the dad won that contest for the library? Nope. They have so many things that were never tied up in this movie that drove me insane. And that was the biggest one, is that, as I mentioned, the dad makes Walmarts. I don't know. They talk about it. They talk about it for a split second. But he also has a whole room. I also thought they were going to turn his drafting room into Grandpa's room. Yeah. Because he had a whole room on the first floor, and they made a big deal about how Grandpa can't walk around that much. Put him there. Whatever. I'm so mad.
What about when the kid says, when he's talking, because it's like a Minecraft type thing where you're like building stuff, but it's like not, because it's a movie. But the kid says, I've spent a third of my life doing that. Grandpa should have been like, I spent, 3/4 of my life with Grandma. And a third of that was building this house.
Yes.
Did you know that? And you just destroyed it.
Yes. That's the loose ends that needed to be tied up. Did Dad win the library thing? Yes or no?
You're really stuck on this.
Because that was the only bonding moment we had in the whole film.
Yeah.
When you think about it, there was no other. Uma Thurman and her father didn't really have to bond because they were father and daughter. They have a moment where he apologizes slightly for distancing with her, and she apologizes to him. That's it. That's their closure. Him and the dad have a moment where he calls him Arthur instead of Artie, and compliments him on his beautiful artwork that he's going to submit to see if he wins the library thing. Never know where that happens. What happens with it? Who knows? Where'd it go? I don't know. Grandpa is playing more with the little daughter, gives us closure on their relationship. But what about the tree? What about the tree? Why is he staring at the tree? We don't know. The fact that he drives around to all his houses, talks about hiding photos in the houses. Great. Jesse even said, is something going to happen when the tree falls on the house and we're going to find a photo of Grandpa and Grandma, and it's going to be this big emotional moment? As a family, they're going to realize that the whole time they had been living in this house, Grandma had been with them the whole time. And I looked at him and I was like, and then it didn't happen. I got so emotional. I was like, wow. Because then the kid looks at the fireplace for an extended period of time at the end of the film. Could have cut that. He's staring directly at their fireplace.
I was wondering, too, with the fireplace.
It was so weird. The kid's just...
Nikki, what's up with the fireplace?
He just stared at it, and then he was like, I know where Grandpa is. How do you know it was an open house? How'd that kid know there was an open house there? There's so many loose ends that should have been tied up.
It was really weird. It was a strange movie.
It was weird. And I wonder, knowing that it was pushed back, the release date was pushed and pushed and pushed, did they film a lot more?
Yeah. Where
it would have tied up some stuff? Did we find out that he did win the library thing? And that's why they were able to celebrate this big Christmas birthday.
Yeah, there's something about the movie that feels very Frankenstein. Yeah. That feels like I feel like I'm watching they did a decent job polishing it back up, but it definitely does feel like this is something where they took my plate back to the kitchen and they gave me a different steak because it wasn't cooked at the right temperature, but something's still off about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust this plate.
Yeah. It doesn't feel right. Like, they didn't give you a new steak. They microwaved your old one. Yeah. That is exactly it. There's something...
The potato looks different now, too.
I feel like they had a scene. They must have had a scene that they cut in favor of extending the comedy somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what they didn't need? The two sisters in their bedroom going, shh, 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 shh. What was that for? Nobody knows. Also, continuity issue. Whoever was doing continuity, I need to know how many days went by in the beginning of the movie. Because during the scene when the sisters are shushing each other, they're wearing two different outfits. Then they go into the doorway to talk to their brother, see if he needs help moving to the attic. Two different outfits. Grandpa shows up. Two different outfits. How many days is this? Where are we? Where am I? Why am I still here? How long has Grandpa been there?
See, Nikki would be a really dangerous opponent on the movie game Seen It, because Seen It, for anyone who played Seen It back in the day, Seen It was weird because sometimes the questions would be like, you know, what year did Titanic come out?
Yeah.
Okay, 1997, guys. It's easy. But
come on. Harder questions.
They would have normal questions, or like, what actress is in Pretty Woman? And then it's just like, is it Jennifer Garner or Jennifer Beals, or is it, you know?
Yeah.
And they have those type of questions. And then other times they would have just a scene. And then you'd be watching the scene like, okay, I'm watching the scene. And then the question would be like, how many tires were in that scene that you just watched? And then most of the people in the room were like, wait, what do you mean how many tires? I was watching the movie for like story, composition, who's in it. And then lo and behold, there'd be one freak show in the room that's like, 7, 7. I just won the game. That's Nikki.
Oh, I can tell you right now, I recently played Seen It with my husband. I do need to make this a formal announcement because you brought this up, and I don't know if I told you about this. Did I tell you this? Did I send you this picture? I did send you the picture.
Seen It's coming out?
Seen It's coming back. Seen It's already back at Target. Yeah. It's back at Target, and it's a streaming version. The original was on DVD. I made my husband plug in our DVD player. We played Seen It together, and he is mad as anything because I can't do math in my head, okay? But if you want, there is one question that without fail will constantly pop up on the DVD if you play it enough times. My family was very big into Seen It. We had all the Seen It's. We were very big into it. If you play it enough times, there is a clip from the Pink Panther where they ask you 4 different types of questions, and one of those questions is how many people are wearing hats in this scene? I have never gotten that question wrong. Yeah, I am in it. I am all about it. And since the first time we played that game, we had a question where it was something stupid like, how many stars were in the night sky? And we were like, no one was I count everything. I look like I have OCD when those scenes come out because I stand real close to the TV and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The whisper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. And I'm like, blue shirt. 7 cups. I sound like Rain Man. Like, I'm basically the Rain Man of Seen It. I'm just like, yeah.
So you're the type that like you go to interview someplace and they're like, oh well, one last question for you, Nikki. You know, we've enjoyed your time today. How many steps did you have to take when you got out the taxi? And you're like 3,492.
Yeah. And then they still don't hire me.
Oh no!
Like, oh, this girl's a weirdo.
We always got to get the OCD ones out.
Yeah. Next. Like, no,
you're the type. It's also like vampires. Vampires back in the day, they were obsessed with counting. Yeah. So the way that they would trick a vampire was to do a bunch of rocks that went into circles. So they'd start counting the rocks and then start walking in circles. That's how we trap you.
How did you know?
Now I know how to get ya.
Oh, look at all the DVDs on my shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Jesse, now, quick.
Spoiler alert, the bat in the attic was played by me. Uncredited. Can you believe it?
I can. There's no respect for animal actors.
No. Hey, ain't no respect.
Ain't no respect around here. I don't have a tight collar. I have a loose collar.
Like,
pulling at my tank top strap.
Pulling at my sweater. Ain't no respect. Oh my goodness.
Should we get to rating War with Grandpa?
Oh my god. I mean, do we even have to tell you all where this is on the list?
But you know what? Can I say something? Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can say something. Say whatever you want to
say.
It's
at the bottom.
Podcast. Yeah. It's way at the bottom.
It's super at the bottom, guys.
But you know what's funny though?
I'd still watch it over the ones at the bottom last year.
I was gonna say the same thing. If we were, if this was on the same list as Eat, Pray, Love or Ready Player One, this wouldn't be the bottom.
If I was in an airplane and I had a flight that was exactly 100 minutes and I had time for 90 minutes of entertainment, and those are my 3 options, I'm picking War with Grandpa.
Yeah, every time.
I want to see Christopher Walken throw that kid into a trash can again.
No, I want to see him do his Fat Boy Slim. He's on a hover thing, you guys. It's so bizarre. This movie. Okay, the book list. Should we tell? Okay, we're going to tell you guys what the ranking is currently.
My favorite.
For our 2nd anniversary show. The ranking is as follows. And number 1, our Bond baby.
Yes, Bond baby.
Casino Royale. Christina, do I do every other one? You do
sure.
Evens, I'll do odds. So we have
the number 2 slot is The Princess Bride.
Number 3 is Pride and Prejudice.
Number 4, The Commitment.
Number 5, Silence. of the lambs.
6, devil in a blue dress.
7, Dr. No means no, yes means yes. The patriarchy has got to go.
Number 8, Cinderella.
For 9, why do I get all the weird ones? I get all the ones we made nicknames for. Number 9 is Willy William Wonka.
Number 10, oh fuck, it's Bridget Jones.
Be good.
Be good.
Number 11 is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Number 12, how Stella got her groove back.
Number 13, Mrs. Basil.
And number 15, War with Grandpa.
Wait, you missed number 14.
Oh, wait. Oh, 14 hidden figure.
She missed it because it was hidden.
It's so hidden, I didn't even see
It's so
it.
hidden, you guys. But yes, 15 is the War with Grandpa.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. It's at the
If you
bottom.
couldn't tell, we were the kids that in high school, if someone said, is there someone in the class who wants to read this aloud? I can do it.
Yes. Would
I
you
can do it the best, too.
Yeah, would you like accents or no accents? Like,
I would like some attention, please.
Yeah. Yes. Oh wait, what is the setting in the time period? Thank you.
I need to know my character.
Yes. 'Twas a dark and stormy night.
Any notes on my performance? I could do better.
Well, someone call Madden and tell him how good I was.
I need validation for my efforts.
I need to know. Did I get an A? Did I get an A?
It's like that part in Chicago when Roxy's like, what does she say? Like, we didn't get enough attention when we were kids. Like, what does she say?
Yes. I think it's something like that. I feel that. I do. I come from a big family. I need more attention. Love me. Tell me I'm pretty.
I am excited because it's spooky time though.
Oh yeah, if
It's spooky season.
It's
spooky
spooky
season
time.
has started, commenced.
We have spooky, scary skeletons. Spooky, scary. For some reason, that always makes me think of the Six Flags. You know the old man.
I could see that.
Bum, 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 Good times. Yeah, we're getting into the spookies. We're gonna ease into the spooks. Spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah, we don't have the rights to that.
Yeah,
so that's 3 seconds.
Yeah. Listen, if we had the rights to some Disney stuff, we'd be playing you this techno remix that Christina found phenomenal. Gonna drop it in the club. I wish I had that for my wedding.
I should be a DJ.
You should. Please.
Well, why am I not a DJ? I know music pretty well. I can be a DJ.
Oh my god, yes. Hey guys, we're gonna have to go on a hiatus because Christina's gonna become like superstar DJ. Oh my god.
DJ Kyoki.
I almost said
Superstar
it.
DJ
I almost
Kyoki.
said it. Oh my god. I was like seconds away from saying it. I went, I can't say that.
I want wings though. I want to be like an amalgamation of all of the party monsters. So I'm gonna have like a chicken head.
Yes.
And wings.
And a hospital gown mask.
Yes.
And you're gonna
And a hunchback.
Yeah, and you're gonna have all the googly eyes all over your face with like troll hair, and you're also gonna be eating brains all the time.
But no drugs.
No
hard drugs.
No hard drugs. I'm so excited.
No, but we're getting into spooky season.
Yes.
So thus the book must be spooks.
Spooks. Yeah. If you don't like spookies, you might want to avoid the podcast for at least the next 3 episodes.
Get out of here, loser. We're getting spooky.
Yeah.
God, fuck.
Hey, boo. So Christina, you want to tell the people what's coming up next?
We're doing practical magic.
Midnight margaritas for everyone.
I have not seen Practical Magic in several years.
That was a long pause. I was like, wait, you've never seen it?
Oh, no. I've seen Practical Magic.
Okay.
I love Practical Magic.
Okay.
It was an awesome movie, but it's been one I think I've seen it like maybe 6 years ago. And then before then, it was like 15 years. It's a long time.
Listen, every fall.
Yeah.
Every fall.
It's a very fall movie.
It is. It's very fall. It makes me want to move to New England and wear big sweaters and drink margaritas at midnight. And you know I'm going to have to be drunk when we do that episode, apparently. I'm going to have to drink. Have you read the book?
No.
I have.
Really?
I've already read the book. I'm excited to hear your take on this.
Okay. Now, have you already read it because you knew that we were going to read it, or did you already read it from like years ago?
I read it like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I do need a little bit of a refresher. But
sometimes I don't. Like Party Monster, I refreshed myself for the podcast a lot because I forgot like the format of it.
Yeah.
But there's been like a couple books that I know so well that I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. This one I think I'm going to need to like, I'll probably like Wikipedia. Just be like, what is it? Okay.
Sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too.
I'm going to wear a witch hat for this episode.
We should get spooky with it. I'm going to kill a man.
And I'll help you bring him back to life.
Fun! Yes! Oh my god, see? We're theming it.
Yes, and then we're going to jump off of a roof. Yes!
I'm going to marry Tom Cruise.
Oh my god. Hi, as an oracle, I can see into your future. Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
For your own safety.
Yeah, just no.
For Tom's safety, he tends to jump on things a lot when that happens.
For Oprah's safety, please don't do that. No, I'm very excited. Should we talk about what else is coming up since we were talking about the general spooks to get people ready?
Yeah, we
for
can
the
if
whole
you want
thing?
to. Yeah.
So, following Practical Magic, which is the first episode of season 3. Boop, 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 ba-doo. We're getting spooky. We're going to follow it up with, I called it Girl Problems Month, but Christina said something funnier about it. What did you say? It wasn't girl problems.
Yeah, is it girl problems or girl solutions?
Yes, that's it.
All of these women seem to find solutions for the problems that they have, and the problems that they have are usually other people.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think
Get
that's
rid
what
of the other people.
I think that's what we need to solve. In the month of October, we're going to solve are these problems or solutions with some of our favorite girls. We're going to be reading Carrie and The Exorcist.
Yeah. See, The Exorcist is one. I literally read The Exorcist either last year or maybe the year before, but I probably will not reread that one because I remember it really well. Like
I haven't read it.
Thoughts.
But
you're in for a treat.
I can remember watching the movie and everyone being like, "Oh my god, that movie is so scary." And then I watched it and I was like, "Okay." Like, sure, Jan.
You look like that part in What We Do in the Shadows when Vladislav sees he's trying to seduce the woman and then the man comes to the door and then he looks at the camera like like I don't want him, but I'll probably still kill him.
Yeah, that's fine. It is what it is, you know, whatever.
I'm a little let down, but I'll still take it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm excited to get into the spookies. I think we need it.
Yes, I really need some spookies right now.
We're gonna. Yeah. It's like Christmas, but better.
Yeah, because people are dead. I just made a scary face.
You just made the scariest face I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. I think Christina's gonna kill me, you guys. Oh my goodness. No, I'm so excited to bring you guys along for season 3 for the rest of the year. We have some more surprises coming up. We have a super surprise where if you didn't notice, we moved a book.
Listen, guys, my dog died, so that book got shelved.
Yeah. We will revisit.
Yes.
Coming to you in season 3, part 2. in 2023.
It was called Dangerous Liaisons for a reason.
Yeah. It's gotta... It's not even free to watch right now anyways, whatever. No, we're moving Dangerous Liaisons to 2023. Don't worry about it. It is coming back. But yeah, we've got so much more in store and we're super excited.
Super excited.
All right. Well, we should go because we got to get spooky ready.
Yes.
Yes. I have to go find a witch hat now. Okay. I'm ready. I'm excited. I have to go make some margaritas and start reading a book. But Christina, thank you so much for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years of books.
Yeah. No, thank you. This has been fun, and I'm so glad that we keep celebrating with such like esteemed subject matter. It keeps us humble, and I like it.
I can't wait to find out what we pick for next year.
Maybe next year, should we keep up with this, or should we do like something really good? We'll find out. I don't know what we might do.
Did you not think Cats was good? We'll see what happens next year. Maybe we should let them pick.
Yeah.
The people in the void.
Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So
Let the people pick.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the people.
We need the people's voices. If you guys have an idea of what you want us to talk about a year from now, get it to us soon.
Can you hear the people reading
a book that is real crap? Honestly, the weirder the book, the better. We love these. And we love doing them for you. Especially for the people in Canada, because we are still in the top 200. Thank you.
Hey, look at that, Canada.
Thank you, Canada. And as always, thanks to our Q, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. Hi, Jesse. Thank you.
Yeah, and he's so happy to be here for another year. I know it. I feel it. He feels it in his bones.
Thank you, Jesse, too, for taking care of my best friend. Oh. See, he better listen because I'm being nice.
He's going to cut the part out. But yeah, and thanks to all of you for listening, and not just Canada. Everybody, thank you all for listening. We do this for ourselves, I think, mostly, so we don't even realize sometimes that people are actually out there. You know? I just think we have fun talking to ourselves, Christina.
No, I kind of like, even though War with Grandpa's, a joke, it was a joke and it was a joke.
Yeah.
I like doing stuff that is not necessarily what I would pick right now.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and we're excited to have another year, and thanks again, Christina.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be back with our witch hats, our midnight margaritas, and all the fun.
Yes.
When we do practical magic. So until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.